Shalom. Call Halon Yamla Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Harakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. All right? And I'm entitled this Murk with Milk, the color of the Lord. All right? You go to Daniel 10, verse 6. Like it. Oh, you know what? Turn this mic this way. Yeah, so like it. All right. Hopefully you heard me. Daniel 10, verse 6. I'll just say again, all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh Shem Yahweh, double honors to the apostles and the elders. Great millstone, peace, blessings to your salutations. To the hopefully elect out there, all right? Murking with milk. Daniel 10, verse 6. His body was also like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning. This is talking about the Messiah, man. And his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and feet like in color to polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. All right, so I want to go into that word, polished brass, okay? Because when you first look up, Esau's the devil. When you look up polished brass, this is what comes to mind. See this? This is what comes to mind because of what Esau has said. So you think, oh, see, polished brass. Look at that. Or you take brasso and you shine it all up, all shiny, and it's all light color. Even this, though, is not the color of of Caesar Borgia, of who they call Jesus. Even this is not equal to the picture they put up. But this is a falsity, okay? Now when you look at burned, okay, burned is actually what it goes into. And then let's get that word, okay? Polished is H7044. Kalal or Qualal. Burnished, okay? See the first four letters? Burn, burnished, or polished, okay? Smooth, polished, use of brass. Brightened as if sharpened, burnished, and polished. See how it says brightened as if sharpened? Well, let's see what this word burnished is, since they gave us that word there. Let's go to what burnished means. Now look at this. It says burnish, polish something, especially by metal or rubbing. And Esau's the devil, like I said, because it says shine and brighten, smooth, glaze, furbish. But what's the root of this word? The origin of this word, Middle English from Old French bernice, lengthened stem of bernir, variant of brunir, to make brown, from brune or brown, to make brown. It don't mean to make it all bright and look at this. Even this is how much of a devil Esau is. Look at this damn skin. See the wickedness of you see the wickedness here, man. Refined in a furnace. Well, what do you do what happens when you put something in a furnace? When the king put the three holy children, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, when he put them in the fiery furnace, he wasn't putting them in there to polish them. He put them in there to burn them. That's what you do with things that go in the furnace, okay? Look at this. That's the spirit that I came across this. Esau's a fucking devil, man, because was Jesus a black man? No, because look, when you put a Edomite's hand next to it, it's more like that. Not a so-called black man's hand. Well, let's go to the etymology, the root of this word. First of all, I showed you here through the spirit, the origin, see, to make brown, not to make that other, not this, okay? And they even give you the option, when you go search polished brass, one of the options is burned, see, burned. And this is burned brass, see? Talking about he was from Nigeria. But let's not just stop there, because Esau's the devil. We have to show and prove everything. Let's go to burnish. Over here. Burnish, polished by friction. That's in the early 14th century. Bernice, stem of bernir, metathesis of brunir. Wait a minute. That ain't what that said over here. Is it? Brunir is make brown over here. Or brune or brown. Brunir over here is to shine, gleam, or sparkle. Also to polish and make sparkle, to make bright and shine. But then they put the brune as brown and polished. Wait a minute. Somebody's lying here. From Frankish or some other Germanic source. Brune, Old Norse brune, bright and polished. But so how does it mean bright and polished, but also brown? Okay, it's not making any sense. Bright or brown. The connection to brown might be explained if the original objects in mind were wooden ones. No, anything you put in the furnace is going to become brown. As you can see, when you let's just look at this. Brown, brune, dark and dusky, dark or dusky. Brune, bruine, bright or brown. It's supposed to be all. This means brown, man. But this is why he's a devil, man. It says the Old English word means dark and dusky. Then it goes here to the Old English word also had a sense of brightness and shining. This is why Esau is the devil, man. This is why the scriptures say, Isaiah 28 and verse 11. This is another way that the Most High is hiding the truth from you, you 2/3 who are not meant to believe in you damn other nations, particularly you Edomites like Vocab Malone, man. Isaiah 28 and 11. Okay, matter of fact, Isaiah 28 and 10. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line. Now, matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 9, 28 and 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Let's see, what's the answer to that question? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breasts. But this understanding is milk in itself. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. So what does this word stammering mean? See, you got to go precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, and you also need to go into the words and in their origins, because then you get a greater understanding of what's being said. Because if you just read the English and you see stammering lips, you're gonna think, oh, yeah, when I speak, I do stutter. I do be stuttering. That ain't what that means. That word is a laig. If I'm not mistaken, this is the I, so it's laig. Okay, mocking, mocker, okay? Speaking of barbarous or foreign tongue, jester, buffoon, a mocker. Because it mocks you, because you go and you're like, oh, let's go into the word, and then you get all these different definitions. You go here, and brunere means make brown. You go here, and brunere means to shine, gleam, and sparkle. That's them mocking you by changing the words. That's why it's beautiful that through the Spirit, the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai allowed the Elder Malcolm to have those old dictionaries that show the original definitions of a lot of these words that expose these devils' wickedness. Which is why you can't find those dictionaries anymore, and which is why they continue to make, one of the reasons why they continue to make these different editions of the dictionaries, so they can continue to change the definition of words to hide the truth. All right, so I just want to go into that, real quick. Murk 'em with milk. Polished brass. That word, once again, for polished is qualal, and it means burnished. Okay, burnished. And it don't have nothing to do with sharpening anything. Okay. This has to, and just to prove that, this is just to prove that the polished brass is being referred to as burnished, with the root word being burned, is when we go to Revelation 1. Because these are both descriptions of the Messiah. And then I'll end it after this. Revelation 1, I'll start at 1. The revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. The revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach, which the Most High gave unto him to show unto his servants the things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant, John, okay, Yawan, who bear record of the word of the Most High and of the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach and of all things that he saw. Let's continue. He bared record of all things that he saw. When you go down to verse 13, Revelation 1 and 13, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, who the world English calls Jesus Christ, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool. We know this means white woolly hair. But for those Edomites who would place semantics and say, no, it's just white, it's not woolly, it's not talking about the texture. Well, let's continue. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. Oh, that sounds familiar. Daniel 10 and 6. And his eyes as lamps of fire. These are going lining up perfectly. Precept upon precept. Let's continue. Okay. And his hairs, and his head and his hairs were white like wool, meaning his hair on his head, hair on his head, and his hair on his face was white and woolly, as white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. And his voice as the sound of many waters. Qualal, burnished, burnished. It's simple, okay? But you wicked people want to twist it up and try to come up with all this other stuff, man. The Most High was a very brown-skinned man, okay? As if he was burned in a furnace, as if you took brass, and you put it in a furnace, which you come out with something like this, okay? As a matter of fact, let's see how deep the wickedness of Esau goes. Burnished. Look at this burnished brass. Look at that. Black burnished brass. Metal brass finishing. Dark brown. See? And really it gets darker than that. But we know, like the scriptures say, Judah mourneth, the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground. Solomon himself said, I am black but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem. Look not upon me, because I am black, because the sun have looked upon me. What happens when the so-called Negro gets in the sun too long? He gets darker and darker in skin color. I'm going to end it there, Lord willing, this has been edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Harakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. With that, I'm going to say Shalom.